So the Xenoverse 2 community right now has one major question left, I feel, in my opinion, at least on the videos that I've been uploading ever since I uploaded that video about the Orange Awakening and why it's pretty much not possible for DLC 16. Haven't really been seeing comments on that anymore, but I'm still seeing a lot of comments about where is DLC 16? Why is DLC 16 taking so long release? What's going on with the release date for this DLC, etc, etc. So many comments like that I have been seeing in my DLC 16 videos, and it's somewhat understandable because it does feel like DLC 16 has taken much longer than DLCs have in the past. Now, there is some extra stuff going on with this DLC that I feel could be why it has taken as long as it has up until this point in time, because not only in this DLC, guys, are they working on the characters for the paid side of things, but also there are some additional characters that we won't be able to play with that they had to make models for from complete scratch. One with Cell Max. Obviously, Cell Max is part of the free update, and he was a raid boss character, so I'm very happy with that raid personally, because it was one of the funnest, if not the funnest raid I've ever experienced on this game. So they did have to take time, though, to make that model, make his skills, all things along those lines, even though it's a character we're not actually getting for ourselves, and we can't play for ourselves as well. So that's one other character that they had to make from scratch, right? They also had to make Dr. Hito. Dr. Hito seems to be in the story mode of this game. He has quotes in the data files of Xenoverse 2 of him being in the actual story mode. So if Dr. Hito's in the story mode, that's another character model that they had to make from scratch, which does take time. Like, do not get it wrong. Character models take quite a bit of time. So that does take time for them to make, even though he has no brand new skills or anything like that, like a Cell Max does. So I truly feel those two characters, along with the Red Ribbon stage, is probably why this DLC is taking as long as it is in terms of the release date for it. Because again, not only are they working on the characters that we have ourselves and will be able to play in DLC 16 with Power Awakening Piccolo, Orange Piccolo, and Beast Gohan, but also they had to work on the Dr. Hito model, and then Cell Max was probably fairly a big project at the same time, because like I said, not only did they have to work on his model from scratch and making him giant and all things like that, they also had to work on his moveset, how he moves, because he is a bit more unique than any other giant raid or giant boss character in expert missions that we've seen in Xenoverse 2. So I think those are why this DLC has taken as long as it has in terms of the actual release for DLC 16. But also, guys, I do want to hint or talk about one thing real quick as to why this DLC is actually kind of right on track with how past DLCs have been handled since, like, I would say DLC 8 or 9. The production of DLC did start to slow down on this game, and we went from 3 DLCs a year to 2 DLC packs on Xenoverse 2 a year at that moment. And usually DLCs would take about 5 to 6 months in between in terms of release, and you can see that with DLC 15 and DLC 14. DLC 15 came out November 10th of last year. DLC 14 came out July 7th of last year. That is a 5-month and 3-day gap between those 2 DLC packs. Right now, where we stand at this moment in time on April 19th, we are at a 5-month and 9-day gap in between DLC 15 and DLC 16, which again kind of falls in line with that 5 to 6 month gap between DLC release dates. So if we were to see this DLC within the next couple weeks, which I kind of do expect and I'm hopeful for a early to mid-May release at the very latest for this DLC pack. Again, that's just me being hopeful, because as I've mentioned in past videos, spring does end June 21st, so they literally have up until June 21st to release this DLC. But like I was saying, if they do release it within the next couple weeks like I expect, then it would be perfectly in line with that 5 to 6 month period, because it would basically be 6 months since this DLC came, or since DLC 15 came out, in the gap between that and DLC 16. So truly, it's honestly not taking as long as me and a lot of others do feel it is taking. The reason I feel it's taking so long for so many of us, and it feels like it's taking so long, is because Bandai and Dimps are doing the reveals extremely weird in comparison to past DLC packs. We've never had reveals for one character in multiple months. Like, really think about it. Orange Piccolo was revealed in January, and then we also had some stuff on him in February in terms of V-Jump and the reveals that they did give us in terms of information. And then in March, we had Power Awakening Piccolo revealed, and we just got another V-Jump scan for this man this month around in April. So they've literally given each character 2 months of showcases, which again has never been done before, and I truly feel that is why it feels like this DLC is taking so long. Because we've been having these reveals, we've known about the characters, we've been having this hype for 4 months now at this moment in time, and usually that is the most we've ever seen in terms of reveals for a game or for a DLC on this game. We've never seen more than 4 months of reveals for one DLC pack, and those were packs that all had 4 characters in it, because each month they would reveal a new character, and after that 4th reveal they would release the actual DLC. Well, again, with this one, it's been a little bit different. They started the reveals in January, which is, I think, where they messed up. Because if they would have started these reveals in March, and we would have had Orange Piccolo revealed last month, and then Power Awakening Piccolo revealed this month, along with the free update and all things like that, I feel not as many people would have that same feeling that this DLC is truly taking so damn long, because again, we would have only had 2 months of reveals and 2 months of waiting at that moment in time, because the reveals just really give us a insight, I guess you could say, as to when the DLC would come out, just basing it off how past DLCs work. Like, it was really easy to figure out when the release frame for a DLC was, and that has not been the case this time around. Like, I thought when we had Orange Piccolo revealed in January, we would have definitely seen this DLC in early April. And clearly here we are in mid-April on April 19th, and we still have no idea when this DLC will come out. So I truly think it's due to the reveals and the way they're handling the reveals as to why it feels like we are waiting so damn long for DLC Pack 16. But let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comments. Does it feel like this DLC is taking longer than past DLCs to actually come out? Or do you feel like we're kind of on the same track as normal DLCs? Even though we've gotten 4 months of reveals, we're still only at that 5-month and 9-day period where most DLCs do take 5 to 6 months to actually release. So where do you stand with this as of now on Xenoverse 2 and with DLC 16? But as always, man, thank you guys for watching. Truly hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, hope you guys have a good one. Peace, y'all.